Welcome to everyone listening on this interview today. I've got a great interview with Georgina. She is a clinic owner in Adelaide in South Australia. And the call is going to be really valuable. She's going to be sharing a lot of valuable information of how she's grown her clinic, some challenges she's overcome, how she overcomes these problems, and just a little bit of her story as well. So before we get started, Georgina, thank you.
Hi,
And
thank you for having me.
And yeah, if you want to start by just telling us about your business, yourself, and how you got started in the massage industry.
Yeah, cool. I've been massaging or been a remedial therapist since 2009, so quite a few years now. The anti-wrinkle eye cream is working. And I got into the industry because I absolutely loved sports science, but I wanted to be a little bit more hands-on with clients. So I went and studied what was back then an advanced diploma of remedial massage, and I combined that with my exercise sports science degree to really work on rehabilitating people that had injuries or they were struggling with pain. Their bodies just weren't optimally functioning. And my passion for that grew so much that I ended up teaching as well. So I became a lecturer there. I worked at a couple of RTOs throughout my career as well. And the unique thing that I've developed within my business is we have a very unique screening process that we take all of our clients through. So in their initial remedial appointment, we assess them from head to toe with a particular set of movements in a particular pattern to see where the individual dysfunctions are. And this individual screening process allows my practitioners and myself to really nail in to their problems and create an individualized treatment plan that really is quite effective in getting them results for their musculoskeletal problems.
I love that.
Um,
That's awesome.
so yeah, yeah. So a lot of people are quite surprised with that screening process because it is quite in depth, and they're used to kind of just having a little bit of a chit chat and jumping straight on the table, not actually being taken through movements and assessed and tested in that manner. So because it was so effective, that's actually kind of what stimulated me to teach others and be able to create a little bit more of a ripple effect in the industry. If I can train others in the methods that I was using that were quite effective, then we would all be able to help more people live pain free and have better functioning bodies.
Yeah, I love that. And there's one thing that is consistent across every therapist I've spoken to in the academy who has an outstanding rebooking and retention rate. It's
Mm,
the depth that they go to in their consultation. Like
mm,
it's just the one thing, right? Because when you do an in-depth consultation, and this people are like, oh, I just do relaxation massage. Well, there are other
mm.
members I know, other therapists that I know that still do an in-depth consultation. They just don't do the postural analysis, but there's a lot of other questions you can ask for people who are stressed as well to get to that
Yeah.
problem. But the thing I love about it is from a client's perspective, right? You're going in and you're sitting down with someone, and the therapist is showing that they know what they're talking about. They're actually
Mm,
finding out the problems because they want to fix you, so you're
yeah.
building your credibility as well, and you're getting incredible results. Your results are going to be way
Mm,
better if you do an in-depth screen, like you said, than if,
mm,
like you said, someone just gets on the table and just starts massaging. Or
yeah.
the typical thing is like, oh, what's the problem? Oh, it's my back.
Mm.
Okay, hop on. And like,
We'll massage your back. Yeah.
yeah. And I
So I
didn't,
use
I was going
I
to say, I
use
didn't know
with
you were a sports scientist as well. I didn't know that.
yeah,
That's great.
yeah, I've got a few little certs under. I had a full wall of certificates at one of my previous clinics. So people were like, "Oh, you've got quite a lot of knowledge and expertise in the background." I was like, "Yeah," which is good. But yeah, the definitely with the screening is really beneficial. And there's two main sections that I always get my staff to nail in on, and that is the client's goals and what is their problem stopping them from doing.
Mhm.
And if we can help them achieve their goals, what is that going to help them do? And we use that in our rebooking process at the end. And then always letting them know whatever analogy kind of works for them, but letting the clients know that often the symptom isn't necessarily where the problem is. So a terminology that I use with clients quite often is the smoke isn't always where the fire is. So, if you light a fire in the forest, the smoke dwindles up over here and you see the smoke there, but the fire's down here. So what we look for in our assessment process is we look to smother out the smoke, but we also look to smother out the fire so that we're working on the cause and the effect.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you started assuming you developed all this yourself, and then you got your clinic. Like, how did that process go? Where you got into massage because you wanted to
Yeah.
help people, and then the next step?
Yeah. So I started working for the daughter of the principal of the college that I learned at. And I worked for her for 2 years. And then I wanted to incorporate more kind of testing time and more of these testing techniques that I was learning and developing. We kind of hit a little bit of a wall with that because she wanted me to spend more time with clients on the table, and I wanted to spend more time testing them and spending that consultation time with new clients, which wasn't in brand with her motto. So we decided to separate ways. And I started working kind of as a contractor at a Pilates studio, and I started learning a little bit more from them. At the same time, I was teaching remedial massage, and I was working with some people that had more advanced qualifications than me. So then I was learning some of their testing techniques. And then it was all really trial and error to the point where I was able to have such a steady client base that I could afford an external location. And I've built that up over time from one 30 square meter room to then the next location had 2 consultation rooms and a gym in it. And I started bringing on other contractors and mentoring them through a similar process, to the point where now in my island and I've got 6 consultation rooms. I employ 4 remedial therapists, and I'm currently interviewing 2 others to potentially add sometime next year.
Congratulations.
So it's taken, it'll be 10-year anniversary next year of my first external location.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it takes time to
congratulations.
build and grow.
Yeah,
Thanks.
that's great. So tell us about some of the struggles you had when you first started, and I guess, yeah, tell us about. I know you're in the
Mm-hmm.
Massage Therapist Success Academy. Um,
Mm-hmm.
at what point did you look for more help with your growth, and how did you come across the academy? I know I asked too
Yeah.
many questions right there.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure I saw your 7 clients in 7 day Facebook marketing ad, and I've always had the opportunity of let's just try stuff and give it a go and see if it works, because you never know if it's going to work or not unless you give it a go. I'd been doing Facebook ads and I've been doing Facebook training with some other training providers that worked with multiples of industries. But what I found was trying to create the content myself and trying to figure out what kind of imagery worked. I was just wasting so much time. So I was working a lot on with clients, managing my team, and then also having to do with the marketing. So with the academy, that like play and plug kind of profile where the content's basically already drafted. I've just got to tweak it. The idea of a picture is there. I've just got to tweak it or make my own in Canva, up, similar to what you had done. And even just learning how to use ManyChat and plug and play with that, and going, instead of having to figure it all out from scratch, having that almost tutorial type process I found really handy. And it was, I think, about 2 years ago, I used one of your ads leading into Christmas time. I had a new therapist who started, and I used a relaxation ad for her. We had her 5 weeks before Christmas. We only had her for a few couple of short shifts per week, but I launched one ad. I did a reactivation campaign for my current clients, offering sessions with her. And within 4 days, that 5 weeks was fully booked.
Wow.
So it
That's
worked really, really well. Yeah. So I was just like, we're going to keep doing it. It worked. And then since then, we've done a multiple of campaigns, different times of the year. We get different ad spend, and we always get leads that come through. So it's always just rotating through. Sometimes we get too busy and I have to turn them off. And then you go, okay, we're coming into a busier period or more of a dead period. I'll jump back in and I scroll through and look at some of the different ads and the ad template and go, yeah, plug and play. Let's pop that one in, pop it in, grab the lead, I literally do all of it from my phone. It's super handy. I'll either have the many chat and have the automated messages, or I'll take them to a point and then I kind of copy and paste messages from my phone in if it's slightly different. If they're, they don't follow the typical answers in many chat. Sometimes you have to duck and weave a little bit. So I do that as well. And then a lot of the other learnings within the academy as well, like the VIP gift vouchers, creating those referral partnerships. Like we do a $50 gift voucher that I created on Canva, got printed, and I give that to all of my referral partners that they give out as gifts to their clients.
Yeah.
So that's really good. The Mother's Day promotion, we didn't do it this year because we were quite busy, but the Halloween promotion, the Christmas gift vouchers. The only thing that didn't work superbly for us was the birthday ad. That everything else has worked really well. And instead of me wasting time trying to figure out what works,
Mhm.
it's plug and play with all of the stuff in the academy. So I'm saving a lot of time by using stuff that you've already tried and tested and found that it works for you. And then we just have to do tweaks in the clinic, really.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'll have to sit on a call with you and fix your birthday ad because that's the ad that works best for us.
Mm,
I know people don't believe it, but we get 1,000 leads a year from that ad,
yeah,
which is
wow.
like insane. Oh no, not 1,000 a
Yeah,
year, but 1,000 over the last couple of years because we don't have to turn it
yeah,
off. Uh,
yeah.
I think I've shared that screenshot in the academy of how
Mm,
many clients I get from that one. But
yeah.
yeah, that's fantastic to hear. And you know what makes it great when you have a team and that they're relying on you for their income and you can just
Mm.
keep them full with like all these marketing strategies, which is cool.
Yeah, yeah, the reactivation messages we use a lot.
Yeah.
And the staff are also like trained to, when they've got weeks that are not so busy, like to actually come up and be proactive to me and go, hey, can we do a lucky draw test?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, sure. And we've got the template saved on the computer and they just literally plug it into Clinico, pick out some names, plug them in, send them in.
Yeah.
And so that works really well. Yeah.
That's awesome. All right. Well, that's enough about the academy. I didn't want to I want to show people the possibilities because it's not just ads, right? It's like there's so
Mm,
much more to getting clients in and keeping your clinic full.
yeah.
But
Yeah, you've got to do lots of avenues of different marketings, like planting
yeah,
different trees. You've got your fertilizer, your water, you've got to check the acid level. There's a lot of stuff
yeah.
you've got to chuck in for those clients to come out.
Yeah, because a lot of people think, oh, I just need to get this one ad working. And then you realize there's so many other parts to business and marketing. But it sounds like you're on track with it all, which is exciting because you're going to keep growing, which is great. Um,
Yeah.
so I was going to ask, what were the three biggest problems that you've had since you started as
Mm.
a therapist in getting to where you are
Yeah. I think number
and how you've
one,
overcome them? Sorry, I forgot to.
yeah, number one was uh having contractors versus employees. So that
Yeah,
was my first biggest challenge. I didn't really know how to navigate the employee space. I had contractors and I really gave them a lot of my energy and time. But then as soon as they got a better offer, they would cut and leave.
yeah,
And take all of my knowledge and all of that information I've shared with them and techniques and mentoring and then go make money for someone else.
and so much
So when
time.
we moved, yeah, and you just like, how could you leave me after I've done all of that? But
If there's
that's
one
okay.
thing, if there's one thing I always have learned, it's like I tell my wife because she gets frustrated when people leave too, because we've got
Mm,
a big clinic and we've had multiple businesses from our gym to our clinic now, and I say everyone's gonna leave. Don't get stressed.
yeah,
Everyone's gonna leave at
yeah,
some point. You just have to systemize your
yeah,
training so it doesn't take up
yeah.
all your time.
Exactly. And that's what I found then with employees is they also will come and go. I have more of a lifespan with them.
Yeah,
But then having that systemized, I have a 3-step induction. We have manuals for each of our services. We have videos in our Facebook group.
yeah,
So it doesn't take me as long with each practitioner to get them up to scratch.
yeah.
So yeah, the
Because you've got
lesson
a
was like
training
employees versus
background.
employers.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
and so that
exactly.
helps. You can develop the trainings, and because this is yeah, something I've put a big focus on as well for our businesses is like exactly what you say. Have a written and a video component. You can get the
Mhm.
therapist to go through, and not just the therapist, front desk people as well. And then you have an assessment portion, and that's what a lot of people
Mhm.
miss. They don't do the assessment, and that
Mm.
that is the complete part of a training. It's not just, oh, here is how to rebook a client, and then you just walk
Mhm.
away. It's, you
Yeah.
give them,
You've got to see it in practice.
yeah, you give them the information, written video, you walk through it with them, answer questions, and you give them you go through an assessment with them to make sure they're competent.
Yeah.
Um, so you would know that because that is what you learn as a trainer and assessor, right?
Yeah, 100%. So,
Yep.
yeah, we do that, and I get the staff to also kind of test each other and mentor each other. So a new staff member then books in, each month they're in, they go in and book in with one of the other staff, and they have a session with them. So they're also learning. I'm building that experience from the experience that I have, rather than being hands-on every single time.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
So I'm assuming you started off with contractors, which is what everyone does because
yeah,
in the
it's just
massage
easier.
industry, especially, you don't want to be paying people when there's gaps. And there
Mm,
are like people who don't show up to appointments, and it's hard to
yeah.
keep people full for most people without all the marketing. So
Mm,
you did what everyone does and start with contractors. What did you end up
mm.
doing with your situation?
Yeah, so when we moved to my island, I sought out some more information from HR individuals, and we then transitioned everything into employees.
Mhm.
And then, still understanding that, like, I had a girl for a couple of years, and unfortunately, her mental health just declined rapidly.
Yeah.
And so we had to let her go. I had to bring a new person in, train them up really quite quickly to kind of handle that gap that we had.
Mhm.
And so learning that process, having all the videos and the marketing, whatnot ready to go, we could just once again plug and play. So that was the solution. Was I read a book by a gentleman called Doug Dower called Flipping Out,
Yep.
and it's about systemizing your business to make it a franchise,
Yep.
which that's not really my goal, but the process is then recording everything you do and having it written down, so you're not constantly repeating your words again and again. So it makes everything a lot easier. And that way, yeah, when we do get a new staff member in, it's like, yep, ads special for them, flyers special for them. We give them flyers to give out to their friends and family. We do a MailChimp email. We do text message specials. And yeah, we get them busy as they're learning. And then the normal marketing then takes over, and they get normal leads coming in as well.
Amazing. That sounds like you've got it really down pat. And the other thing that people
Mm,
don't think about, which I'm sure you have, even if you don't want to franchise your business, having it set up how you've set it up, it actually becomes
mm.
sellable.
Yeah. And if I want to
Bec-
go away on holidays,
Yep.
can have someone step in and
Yeah.
manage it for me. Yeah. So it
So
gives
many
me that.
benefits. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I mean, this has happened recently as an example, but we were approached by a competitor to buy her business, and we didn't want another location. But so she ended up just closing it down because no one bought it. It
Mm.
wasn't,
And that's just such a loss.
yeah. And she'd worked on this massage business for 10, 15 years, and to walk away with
Yeah.
nothing. And it just happens all the time. Small business owners, most of their businesses, they aren't sellable because we've sold
Yeah.
our gym, we've sold businesses.
Hmm.
The
Yeah.
broker says
You've got to have an exit plan.
most businesses, they never sell.
Yeah.
They go up for sale,
Yeah.
they never sell because they have to be set up in a way that an investor can come in
Hmm.
and put a
Yeah.
manager in and run it
Yeah.
confidently.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Exactly.
you open then your pool of buyers up to a whole different pool of buyers for investors as well,
Mm.
not just
Yeah.
other massage therapists who probably can't afford $200,000, $300,000 to buy your business.
Yeah. Exactly.
So,
So yeah, we've set it up that way so that and it's a process, like it's not completely done. We
yeah.
don't just have like, just one giant book and that's the business and here we go. It's always changing. It's like your business plan, you're always having to revise and go back to it and add to it. But systemization of stuff and recording stuff has been vital in order for me to scale and grow. And part of that has also been the marketing, having those tools and knowing that they work so that I can scale up.
Yeah, because I've seen a lot of therapists that I talk to, they try and bring clients, other therapists on, right? Because they're so busy with the ads in the academy and the marketing, they want to bring
Mm,
contractors on. And I
mm,
always say to people before you start hiring, get like
mm,
record your basic systems, like how you want someone to speak to customers. So customer service, consultation,
yeah,
rebooking, and your admin processes for like checking someone out or even responding back to leads, whatever. But that's usually
yeah,
the main therapist's
yeah,
job. So I
yeah,
say before you hire, have that in place because the chances are the person who's coming in is going to be
hmm,
nowhere near as skilled as you. So you need
mm,
to bring them up to 80% of
yeah,
your skill level.
yeah,
Otherwise, you're just going to get people in and they're going to just lose them all the time,
yeah,
over and over again, because they don't know what you know. So,
yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
100%. And that 80% expectation is really that kind of upper limit that you can expect.
yeah,
But you've also got to verbalize that and then reward them with like a really good culture so that they want to stay and they want to put that effort in and they want to be as good as they can for you and for the business and for their client.
yeah. And to see, how
Yeah.
you said you were doing the constant training with other therapists as well. And I'm assuming you do
Mm-hmm.
constant training. That is something that will attract therapists with a
Mm,
great growth mindset, positive mindset,
yeah.
learning mindset. So you want to
Yeah.
attract the best by having a business that is appealing
Mm,
to the best
yeah.
therapists with a great attitude. And those
Yeah.
people, they don't just want good pay, they want a positive environment. They want a place where they're going to continue learning, etc. So it,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
really
So
is like,
every
yeah,
fortnight, those team trainings, we sit for like 10 minutes and we chat and we eat or we have coffee and we catch
yeah,
up like socially. And then it's orthopedic tests or case studies or techniques or like we'll revise something and go through it and we get hands on and we practice. And everyone really, they all really enjoyed their studies. So having that snippet as well, they go, well, if I went off and worked by myself, I'm not going to get that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, because that is the thing. You get someone good, and eventually they think about working for themselves. And if you can give them a really good income because your business
Mm-hmm.
is set up well, uh, then they're probably happy to just stay, like you said, because they're getting, because money isn't everything, if they're not
Mm.
progressing.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really cool to
Yeah.
hear.
Cool.
And so that your first issue was with contractors and staff
Staff.
and the training.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
what other big problems have you come across that you've had to overcome?
Yeah. So the next two big issues that I've had was time management and then also constant like leads and having that constant like funnel
Yeah.
of new clients coming through. So the first one was time management. It's still something that I work on. But allocating time to work on the business rather than doing it just at the end of the day when I'm, tired with clients.
Mm.
So I then set out 1 to 2 hours on a Tuesday and a couple of hours on a Friday morning, and just trying to like chug through that, like getting all the data and like if we've marketing process, making sure that I'm putting all those leads into an Excel document and tracking them and then printing out, give to the staff, going, all right, these ones that have not booked, call them.
Yeah.
Making sure that we've got the next marketing ads ready to go, making sure that all of our lead generation material, so our flyers, our gift vouchers, etc., are all stocked up. Just having like a system where once a month I kind of check through and I go, okay, what are the top two things I need to nail this month?
Yep.
And then I look at that and I spend that smaller amount of time that I've got to work on the business on
Mhm.
the things that are going to bring me the most kind of profitability. And then from there, it's then working on all the background policies, procedures, and the systems and operation manual second. So it's like, okay, what do we need to do this month? So time management, and that took me a really long time because it was a mindset set shift, because I started off as a technician,
Mhm.
and then I went into becoming more of an entrepreneur and growing stuff, and then I also had to manage at the same time. So it's between managing the staff, growing the business, but then also working with. I do this because I love helping people. I don't want to be hands off.
Yeah.
So time management was tricky. And that was just, listening to different podcasts, talking to different people, and then finding out what worked best for me in my lifestyle so that I can get that extra stuff done. Some weeks are definitely a lot more hectic than others. And like, at the end of the day, if I've got staff members that are sick, I'll have to drop what I'm doing to cover those clients. So sometimes the end of the month gets a little bit busier than what I'd like. But being busy means that we've got action going on.
Yeah.
It means that there's stuff that's growing. So that's also a good sign. So I look at it positively, that I'm busy and I've got lots of stuff to do. Because if I got to the end of the month where there wasn't anything to do and we weren't growing, then I'd be like, oh, maybe I'm not doing this well.
Yeah.
So
It's a better problem
that's
to
still
have that
something.
you're busier than you need to be.
Yeah, exactly. And then I think the last challenge that I had was that sales funnel. Like I would go to marketing seminars. I spent a large amount of money with different independent businesses to do the marketing for me. And I just got like crickets. It was like I did 13 months of SEO, and we sadly spent thousands and thousands of dollars for people to look up brothels,
Oh,
because we just couldn't separate in that area. There was just so many unqualified, unlicensed little massage shops that offered stuff that professional therapists don't.
mhm.
So I'd spend, like, even when we just went to pregnancy massage, it was just like the amount of AdWords and stuff that were coming up was ridiculous. So I
Yeah.
tried doing the delegating type role, and we just spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. So what I found to overcome that challenge was going through the academy and going through each month and testing each thing, plugging and playing, and see what works, and then just repeat, rinse and repeat what works to get those
Yeah.
leads coming in. And in addition, I also have branched out a little bit more as putting myself as a key person in the industry. So I do a lot of networking. I do a thing called BNI on
Yeah.
Friday mornings, which is a big networking meeting. So I was in BNI, and I would talk about the services that I would do and how I do it. And then as I grew my team to keep those leads coming in, to keep them busy as well, because I stopped taking on new clients, was my mindset, my terminology. So I would talk about the team, and I would talk about what one of my staff members had done and how they did it and how I was so proud of them. So I was like, the mother hen with all my little massage therapists. And so then when I was getting referrals, people would then learn to say, oh, instead of go see Georgie, it was like, contact Georgie and she'll book you in with one of her team members, one of her awesome massage therapists. And so I think a lot of the time the wording that we can use in marketing can sometimes be very solo.
Mhm.
And if you then do bring someone on, you've really got to switch that terminology and communication and let them know that, they are as 80% as good as what you are, or highlight one of the things that they do better than you. So one of our therapists, she's really good at doing deep tissue without leaving pain and bruises. And so some of our like bigger clients or more sports clients, I'd be like, oh, Crystal's better at me than this. So if you want this kind of service, I'd actually recommend booking in with her. She actually does it better than me.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, okay. So I had to learn that. And that was that was a challenge that I overcome over with my wording and terminology of my communication.
Yeah. Yeah. Lovely. Yeah, that's really important because you do want to fill up your team, and that's a constant problem that clinic owners have is people used to just coming to see them. But if you want to
Mm.
be a really real business owner, you have to get your team full. So yeah, sounds like you're doing amazing, which is really good to see.
Thanks.
I know you're busy, so I don't want to take up all of your morning, but I just wanted to finish off with a few quick questions. Uh,
Hmm.
One was, what do you feel sets your business apart? Because it's a competitive industry. I mean, it's crowded. So why
Mm.
do you feel that your clients choose you over, like you said, cheaper places that are all around you?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, we get people commenting on our prices all the time. We're not the cheapest, we're definitely not the most expensive.
Mhm.
But we are a results driven clinic. And one of the things that really helps us to maintain that client life journey is that team training I do every fortnight. So my staff are constantly developing, they're constantly getting better. And so we are more thorough, and the communication that we use in our consults, the testing that we use in our initial sessions, and then our techniques, which are constantly evolving and getting better and better, and the information. So it's almost like every time a client comes in, their session is more evolved, or it's more individual to them, or they're getting one step closer to their goal. So they can then see the value for money. I mean, we also always have a big smile on our face and great customer service. And we try and make our services as accessible. So online booking, booking through our socials, phone call, they can call. And if we're busy at the time, they leave messages and we try and get back to them as quickly as possible. So we try and remove all those barriers
Mhm.
for them to rebook. And then we use different terminology to rebook them rather than to make it not feel salesy. So at the end of the consult, we put our professional recommendation forward.
Mhm.
And then we give them two options to decide. So the client feels like they are in control of the decision, but we've guided them with our wording to a particular point. So we're then more confident with their process. And then if the client cannot rebook, we do a process called BAM FAM, which is book a meeting from a meeting. So if they're like me and they go, oh, I'm really sorry, my schedule's over the place. I definitely want to book in again, but I don't know when I can come in. We go, oh, that's cool. I'm going to contact you in a couple of weeks, check
Mhm.
in and see how you're going. And then we can touch base then and go from there. How does that sound? They go, oh, fuck, yeah, like that's really good. So we use that BAM FAM method, but that's in, once again, a policy for the practitioners to go through. So yeah, the screening process, the customer service, and the constant development that we're doing, I think sets us apart from more of the home-based businesses or the like dollar per minute businesses you see in the shopping centers.
Yeah. So much good stuff there. I'll just quickly reference one thing that I really loved out of all those things I really liked. It was the setting a treatment plan for customers, for clients, right? Because most places you go into, it's just one-off session. So how can you expect your client to buy into a long-term relationship with you where you can actually help them long term if the therapist isn't even laying out a treatment plan for them? I mean, you look at, if you go to a doctor, right, and or a specialist, and you have issues with different parts of your body, or a physiotherapist even, right? So you'll have a treatment plan where it's like, we need to see you at this interval for this amount of time,
Yeah.
and we're going to work on this and then this and then this and then this. So, and then the client doesn't even question it. It's just,
They're
you're
like,
the,
yeah, okay, you're the professional. We're going to
yeah,
follow your advice. Yeah.
yeah. And to have that, to bring that, because you've obviously seen that in your other professional background, so you just
Yeah.
use that with massage, and
Hmm.
it it's incredible, like how much more clients will come back, and then how much more you can actually help them too. And
Yes.
I'm not too sure if you do it, but I've seen it in the academy where Samantha had, like, she doesn't do remedial, but she even has it for relaxation and beauty. She has actually a printout, and she gives them written out when she wants them to come back, and what she's going to do on the different sessions. Like, she can give them
Mm.
that handout. So
Yeah,
like a
yeah, we
physical
have
one.
a welcome pack that we give them with like things like our terms and conditions, flyers, referral vouchers,
Yeah.
benefits from local businesses, and in that
Beautiful.
we put something in a road to recovery. So we we write down what we identified as their problem, when we'd like to see them in again, some home stuff to help them as well. And then we have a really cool graphic that I got based on like a chiropractic type model, but I got it graphically designed for us to show like if they keep going and do the exercises, they're going to get better. But if they wait till they're in pain, then they're going to get better, and then they're going
Yeah.
to be in pain, and they're going to get better and they're in pain. We're like, we don't want to waste your time and money doing this. We
Yeah.
want to book you in and take you through this treatment plan and get you up to being your best.
That's so good.
They're just like, oh wow, like cool, I'm actually gonna like get results here. But then we're very open with the fact that we're not chiropractors, we're not doctors, we're not physios. We will refer out and recommend co-treatment for certain situations as well. So we've got a really good connection of other allied health that we work with, and because of that relationship that I've built with them and their businesses, we know that when that client goes to them, they're going to talk us up as well and go, this is really good that they've done that. I want you to keep going back and having massage.
Yeah.
So, but that all takes time to build and grow. So, yeah, that's that treatment plan at the end is fantastic.
So much value there. I hope people who are watching realize this stuff is gold, and if they can implement a fraction of all this, they'll be setting themselves apart. It's no wonder you've been able to grow so successfully and quickly. So I have basic other questions like, where do you see yourself in the next 2 5 years for your clinic? And then any
Yeah.
other advice you've got for other therapists watching this, or anything we didn't cover?
Yeah. So, because I've been teaching for like since 2010, but there's a lot of massage courses that are kind of slowly going down. I've actually been running some masterclasses where I've been teaching other therapists. So I see my clinic having a constant presence within the western suburbs, but then also teaching in the G-Vitalize Massage Academy, where I will do my masterclasses. And then eventually scale down to the point where I'm only hands-on with a small portion of clients. Because the one thing that I didn't mention is that I've actually got a nerve condition in my hand, so I can't over massage.
Yeah.
So that's where I see myself in 5 to 10 years, potentially, if everything goes well and I like working as much as I do now, having a second location
Mhm.
where we work everything out here and then copy and paste
Yeah.
for location two, and doing the training. And I think that the one piece of advice that I give when I'm training with clients or clients in the masterclasses that I do is try and get as much practice and exposure to other modalities and build those relationships. So when you are talking to people, tell them your story, tell them your background, because there's the old saying, facts tell, but stories sell. So if you can give them a little bit of your personality to your clients and to those referral partners, you can strengthen those relationships. And those relationships have created the really solid foundation for which I've been able to grow my business.
Fantastic. I have no doubt you'll achieve all those goals with the track you're on. And it's great having you as a part of the academy. And it just goes to show, even the best therapists, the most skilled, still seeking out how to improve their business, how to learn new marketing methods. Because a lot of people think I just have to be good at massage. And you
Mm.
are, you literally teach massage, you're so well trained and your knowledge in that area. But even you looking to learn massage and business, marketing and business stuff, and it's helped you incredibly. So yeah, thanks again for your time. I hope people got a lot out of this. It's invaluable, some of the things that you're sharing. So thanks for your time, Georgie.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.